What's up, guys? Now, Adrian Peterson earned over $100 million in his career. A running back for the Washington Redskins, he was a star with the Minnesota Vikings, almost breaking Eric Dickerson records. I mean, this dude was just really just growing in his craft. A great, phenomenal NFL player. Jersey sales all over. People wanted to be like Adrian Peterson. He was like the next Moss, even though Randy Moss was a wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. But as far as his name, which is really big in the athletic world, especially in the NFL. And I admire Adrian Peterson. I think he's really a great player, man. I mean, he's really up there with, I guess, the Barry Sanders type, Chris Johnson. I mean, this guy is really phenomenal, man. And, making a name for himself, but he's going to legal matters now. Allegedly, he was defaulting, going to a lawsuit of a $5.2 million loan and offset of paying. He still has $600,000 unpaid from a $2.4 million loan, according to a Maryland judge. And he's pretty much making, just wrong financial decisions throughout his whole career. And for the most part, he's going to go broke. Now, what people fail to realize, a lot of athletes, man, end up doing this because first they probably, no matter where they came from, they just probably not used to having a whole bunch of money, and then they just felt like, their money is gonna help them in the future in a way, far as like it's gonna be a long term compared to that athlete, especially in NFL, since it's a lot of physical contact. The average career can last maybe 3 to 5 years, man, if that, and you earn over like 45%, like the top earners in that particular position of a running back. You should at least have some money saved up. Now, my thing is, I'm not going to judge this man, but he did had a lavish party in his 30th birthday, invited like 320 guests. I'm pretty sure that cost a lot of money, buying luxurious cars and, buying like, purchasing homes that you cannot afford instead of investing into like mutual funds with a conglomerate of stocks in a way. I mean, because you got to understand that, you're not going to be running forever. You still have your whole life ahead of you. Even if you enter in the NFL like you're 20, in your mid 20s, you get out when you're like 30 something, you still have your whole life. And your financial decisions and the things that you make is going to really take a toll on you, man, because I was looking at 30 for 30 broke, and he was talking about, them going to these clubs, and they had like $10,000 in their back, in their pocket, and all that stuff, messing with groupies and all this type of things, man. Next, they losing all this money, and they get injured or something like that, and their contract expire, and then they looking for the next talent, because the NFL is pretty much, it's just very competitive. Yeah, you can be hot 1 minute, but that one, freak injury, or they feel like someone is a little bit better than you coming out of college. Yeah, because there's always somebody from the NCAA is entering into the draft, man. It's a very competitive market, and they know, these NFL owners know that these athletes not going to be here forever, so you should know that too, and your mind stay like, yeah, I love football. I've been playing football since I was 7 years old, so since I'm making like, $10 million a year, I'm going to take some of that money. You know what? I'm going to actually buy some homes. Shout out to Dr. Boyce Washington, we stay now. I'm going to buy some homes, like, back in my neighborhood that's worth like $35,000 or $50,000, at least 10 of those, and then I'm going to rent it out to people, get into real estate. I'm gonna get my real estate license during the off season. I mean, you have to really understand these things and understand financial advisory, because you do not want your financial advisor, your creditors, your financial analysis have 100% of your assets. That's not a great way for an athlete to start his career. And and it's a lot of athletes don't really get into money management. Yeah, they get the money. Some of them don't even know how to sign a check. And I'm not saying, I believe Adrian Peterson is a smart individual, but according to Chase Carlson, who was his attorney, he was saying that, well, you have your money going to the wrong people, and this is just a choice of another athlete making the wrong decisions. I'm pretty sure Charles Carlson is pretty much is very financially stable, man. His kids going to private schools, different things like that. But now you, as a black man, you struggling. Now you're back to ground zero, and then you want people to feel sorry for you. At the same time, like, if you're making 100 million, stuff like that, you don't have to get a mansion. You can get in like a 3 or 4 bedroom home, pay that mortgage off immediately. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know it might be a little difficult because athletes got to move back and forth. Sometimes they get traded to different teams. But at the same time, get an apartment or something, man. If you had a family, get like a 3 bedroom home. And my thing is too, a lot of them have unprotected sex with these females too. And these groups, they out here, and they searching for dudes that's making it. And You know, you having unprotected sex, or you be in a relationship with these women, next you know they divorce you and they take half of your money and your assets. You have to think about all that, so you have to protect yourself. And you know, just get into some accounting classes. I mean, if you really don't know nothing about finance, don't be ashamed of it. You have YouTube. I mean, you take some time out your day to really invest and put into some stocks and some index funds, and then you will be just fine, according to Tony Robbins, man. And you know, it's hate to see this young brother like going through this, man, because I know he was in the news, was making a son and all that stuff. But that's just his business. If you want to spend money, like for instance, say if you really about that party life, and I'm making like $5 million a year, I'm gonna take like 250,000 and invest in some Amazon stocks. Russell Wilson actually educated his teammates to invest in some Amazon stocks, and now it's exponentially growing, right? Because that's like one of the, I think that's the number one search engine, that and Google. Oh, everybody's always ordering off Amazon. UPS works through Amazon. FedEx, all these big major companies work through Amazon. People are getting paid through Amazon just selling products. Own like a few of those stocks, man. You will be great. Take $250,000 of your check, your money, and just invest in Amazon. Why not invest into a tech company? Telsa. Do those things, man, and then use your money on the side for luxury. Like, okay, I'm gonna spend a few thousand at the club if you about that life, and then you still have a lot of money left over. Even though, say, if you get traded or you get to a second string or third string quarterback or something or whatever position, you still got money left over, and then you can get out and then you can start or go to school and get a new career. I just felt like he wasn't thinking long term. But I know, you got to practice in all these games and stuff, and you want to, appeal to your fans, but you got to take care of yourself. And looking at his financial situation, it's a pretty sad thing, man. These debtors and these creditors want all this money, man, and they can also too can potentially garnish his paycheck too and his future wages. So he is entering to the Washington Redskins training camp. He's gonna do what he got to do to be successful, but I think they signed like a 5 million or 1.5 million incentive. So, but that's all I really had to say, man. Yeah, man, he's got to really reanalyze this, man, and he probably had to sell some things, man, and just really get back on the ballpark, man, financially. But it's a really sad situation for Adrian Peterson. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me guys what you think. I'm out. Deuces.